Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Block 9 Podcast Live Lounge. Oh, evening. Let's get to the right slide. How are we all doing? It's a hot day, and I'm not up for doing a long, silly intro tonight. But thank you, everybody that's joined us on this very hot Saturday. Thank God we've got a pool. No, not a proper one, but one that we pit up. And it's been nice to jump into that throughout the day. Carl, you've been up on the moors, hopefully protecting that, bold head of yours from the sun, I hope, as well today.
Yeah, plenty of sun cream and a hat. That was definitely on the cards for today's little hike, which apparently wasn't as busy as what you've been today. So, you want to share what you've been doing?
Carl said, let's not make it a long one tonight because I'm absolutely pooped. He said, I've been up on the moors for an hour. And I was like, an hour? I've cleaned the car, sorted that out, done some stuff in the garden, fitted a storage box together. I was like, and that's all you've done? It takes it out of you, this weather, doesn't it? So, Gavin, how are you doing? Have you been working on your tan? Oh, hang on a minute. Maybe not.
I always leave mine at customs when I go on holiday on the way back, as you know. Now, very early start. Unfortunately, my children decided at 4:30 this morning was the right time to get up. So that was nice. I've had them all day. So because mummy's going on holiday tomorrow and, needs some time to do the thing. So I'm preparing for a week of daddy daycare. And I'm slightly fatigued. I think, what's his now? 16 hours, 14 hours of my day, 16 hours, I think. So,
did you get any of the cricket in though? I've been keeping an eye on that throughout the day.
I don't know what the final score of the day was. No, so I've not.
Okay.
I've been watching cricket at Plymouth with the kids, and I had to have a couple of daddy's medicines, as I call it, pints of Sanford Red. They think it's medicine. But no, I don't even know what the test score is. So
they ended on the same score, and then England went off with a couple of overs.
Matt's in. He's a man of taste and class. He'll know what's exactly going on in the test match. No doubt he'll inform us in a minute of what happened this afternoon.
And Herbie, how's things with you? What have you been up to on this hot day today?
Yeah, all good. I had a football game yesterday, and it was just just did not want to run at all. It was so hot. I can see why they've all gone to Austria and get nice and cold for pre-season. So getting used to those north and away days probably.
Yeah, no, it's and thank you everybody that's joined us tonight. Yeah, it's on a hot evening. It's not easy, but yeah, what better to do than grab a cold apple juice, and listen to us as we catch up on the recent events of Argyle and of course the Austria training camp. So I'm just going to rattle through some of the latest news, the news over the last couple of weeks since we were last on. Obviously, we've had 3 new signings join the club in Brendan Wiredu, Aribim Pepple, and also Ayman Benarous, which we will come on to their profiles a little bit later. We've also had Pleggy did not join the camp, and yes, as the Block 9, especially me, was a nervous wreck, wondering what had gone on with Julio, and was he leaving us? So no, he wasn't. He picked up an injury.
Can I ask how many telegrams, texts, faxes, yogurt pots on end of string, WhatsApp messages, and messages via social media you sent him in a 12-hour period, Mike?
Don't forget hanging around outside their house.
I bet Pleggy was around in your paddling pool, wasn't he, all these days?
Yeah.
He was out there with a rubber ducky.
Yeah.
Us podcast hosts and people don't need to take any more abuse after recent events.
I see what you did there. Very good.
So, but yes, no, he was obviously picked up an injury in the pre-season warm-up prior to going to Austria. So had to have that checked out. But yeah, it was good to see someone shared a photo with him as well, which we retweeted yesterday. So that was good.
Have you got that person up on your dartboard now? Is that your?
It's coming out of the photo jet printer now as we speak.
Very nice.
Hazard also picking up an injury on international duty, so was doing a bit more of an easing in over the camp. He is expected to start the season, so fingers crossed on that one, because let's just face it, the trialist didn't make a good...
I thought he had a hell of a game. I don't know what you're talking about.
the most random own goal. And Herbie, sorry, I got it in there very early. He was wondering how long it would take before we mentioned that. Beidou exits as well. Very strange time at Argyle for Beidou. And obviously he's left now, which probably suits both parties. We are getting his wages covered. We still own the player, but let's just see what happens over that loan.
And we had a fee. Mike.
Go on.
And we had a fee.
Oh, and a fee. Yeah.
£100 fee.
Thank you. Nathaniel Ogbetter has headed to Barnsley on a season-long loan. That's probably the right thing to do there, as my notifications are on. Sorry for the background pinging. And also Wright went to Wigan on a season-long loan. Obviously, he's only got 1 year left of his contract. So he was saying his goodbyes there to the Green Army as well. So we wish them all well. Maxi Talavirov. Was that a surprise, Herbie, him going? I mean, it's a shame because he just looked such a player. But I suppose we had to expect that he wasn't going to hang around. Didn't bother turning up for training either, did he?
Yeah, he probably is championship quality. But in all fairness, I didn't want to say it while he was playing for us, but I did think as a fan base we did overrate him a little bit. And that's because as a defender, he's very old-fashioned in the sense that the ball's in the air, he's going to head it, he's going to win it, he's going to win 50-50s. But so Stoke, like their aspiration next season is what? To finish mid-table and be comfortable. They need to play good football out from the back. And Maxi with the ball at his feet, he's rash with it, he just clears it, he doesn't think about passing it, he doesn't think about, when the ball is at his feet. So I don't think he'll do well at Stoke personally, but I wish him all the best, obviously. Like he has some great moments for us. But yeah, I don't think he'll be the player that Stoke think he is. No,
interesting. What do you think to that, Gav? I think you could see the quality there with him. I wouldn't have personally said that we maybe overrated him. I think it's going to be interesting to see what he does. But I mean, Carl, what's your thoughts on? I mean, he is a loss because I think he was a great character as well.
Do you want to go to? You said Gav originally, so Gav.
Too much sun and a few shandies. So Carl, you can go first on this one. You haven't spoken yet.
I'm gonna have to disagree with Herb on that one. I think he was. I think his class was there to all to see. I mean, probably in our team, he probably was one of the brightest players, one of our better defenders. Maybe when he's got, maybe better players around him, he won't take so much of the limelight. Maybe, probably Stoke was probably the right club for him, maybe not so much a club going for promotion or kind of mid-table, but one that will kind of play the dirty side and knock balls long. They're not tippy-tappy, are they, Stoke? So he's probably the right club for him personally for his development. I think he's definitely a championship player. I think it was always going to be a struggle to keep hold of him. I would have loved to have seen him stay for that another year just to potentially try and get us back up. As he said at the end of the season, the relegation hurts and we'll put it right. Obviously, he wasn't going to stay to put it right personally himself, which is a disappointment. But I wish him all the best, and I think we've got enough defenders to pick up the baton now anyway.
Yeah, and Gav, no, agree. You just move on with it, don't you? But hopefully we got at least what we paid for. That was always a discussion point, wasn't it?
The interesting thing for Stoke, and I don't know whether it's been picked up yet by the Stokies, but he's replacing Ashley Phillips, who we also know very well, having down here on loan, who, by all accounts, went on again in another level playing last season for Stoke, who's now gone back to Spurs and will probably feature within around their first team this year. The interesting comparison will be 4 or 5 games in, who's the better centre half, Ashley Phillips or Maxi Talavirov?
We can see your wife in the background. I opened the door and it was sticking.
Here's Johnny.
What was it? It was a drink. I thought it might have been a child.
She's looked. No, I did wonder that.
So who's the better centre half? Is it Maxi or is it Ashley? I don't know. And I think by the end of September we'll probably get some Stoke fans going, we've been sold a pup, or conversely, oh, he's an upgrade. Well done. We pulled your pants down for 1.7 million plus an add-on. I don't know. Look, he was here as stepping stone. I think someone just said in the comments as well. I think it was Zoo Corner. He's there for a stepping stone. He wants to play Premier League football, doesn't he? That's the fact. I think Robbins will get the best out of him because he's a pretty good coach. So good luck. As Tom said several times now, isn't he? If you don't want to be here, The door's there.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing that disappointed me is the fact that he didn't bother showing up to training. We won't know if the club ended up agreeing with that, but it's not really great, is it? At the end of the day, but yeah, I think he'll go on and do well. Personally, I'll miss seeing him play. Liam in the chat will give some shout outs to people that have joined us tonight in the comments. Liam saying Maxi will easily double his value in no time. Yeah, it's whether or not Stoke is right for him, really. It doesn't matter. He wanted that championship football, didn't he? And as you just noted, Gavin, Zoo Corner, Maxi is using Stoke as a stepping stone club to go on to better things. So we also have Ninja Matt's in with us tonight. Pilgrim Petey's in with us tonight. Zoo Corner, as we mentioned, Kenny Pester. Evening, Kenny. Kenny has picked, yes, someone else with a similar viewpoint on Maxi. I reckon that was referring to you, Herbie, because that came in earlier ahead. So I hope that was the case. Ninja Matt also saying Maxi had the turning circle of an articulated lorry. We'll be fine. Okay, we'll go with that. Do we have a sell-on clause for Maxi? I'd like to think
20%.
It's what? Sorry,
20%, from my understanding.
Right. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Just going to say, I'd like to think we did, considering
selling for 10 million quid to a Premier League club will take 2 all day. That means it's 3.7, which is probably about his right value now, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Marcus, evening, Marcus. I think for their ages, Phillips is a better player. I don't know. I'm going to say Maxi. And Ben Collins, evening, Ben. Good to see you back in. Just shouts out Janners. I think the thing with Maxi is that 1.7 odd million, if that's what it was, breaking even on it, is a good lump of money to go back in the coffers. Plus, his salary and his wage each week would have been significant when joining us in the championship. So again, it frees up. And I know we were all hoping there was going to be a bit of a signing maybe yesterday or even today on that Burrell potentially. But there is a lot of money now in the back pocket there to start using with who we've sold, and considering we haven't spent a huge amount on who we've bought in. In other news as well, Rami Al-Hajj leaves for Silkeborg. No surprises there, I don't think. Carl, you put the post up on our X account, didn't you, after that was announced? It's, again, another sort of signing, really, under Rooney that just didn't materialise, did he?
It's a massive shame with Ram, because I thought the first couple of games when he started and came off the bench, he looked quite promising. I think his first game, was it away to West Brom when he came off the bench? I thought he looked quite promising.
Yeah.
And then he had that home game where he scored. And there's a couple of games after that where he looked rather decent. But then obviously when Rooney got the sack, Mužlić came in, he went to shot, didn't he? I don't think he was favoured at all by Mužlić. His head wasn't in the game and just got progressively worse, and we didn't really see much of him. But I was hoping that he would stay around for League One, playing more attractive football. I think that could suit him. But yeah, he obviously he's homesick and he's gone back to, closer to home.
Both him and Beatty were both quite mentally fragile. And I know that when we did the mental health thing with Andy on the live lounge, he kind of mentioned it. And I think we remember speaking at reasonable length on those pairs, that they're both feel good, look good footballers. And they were probably, in their eyes, if you look at it from their lens, treated like shit, quite frankly.
Yeah, I don't think Rami got as much abuse as Beidou. Beidou got a lot of.
No, what I mean though is you're brought in as the Messiah, weren't you?
Yeah.
On 900k and 1.5, which was the record signing at the time, wasn't it? To light up the league and light up the division and all that type of jazz. And you better get a kick under a new manager. So you kind of think, well, I've been thrown here on pretenses. I'm now training every day, not getting a look in. So I imagine both of them mentally were like, I need to just wipe the slate clean, go somewhere else, start again.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that's all that needs to be said really on Rami.
But at least give him some credit. He did actually turn up for pre-season. He did take part in pre-season training and stuff, which is more than others.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Further rumours, we mentioned Riman Burrell, also Daryl Dyke, American striker at West Brom, being linked. I think I was hoping there was going to be a signing, but I left my last episode of Tales from the Block on that sort of edge of pinpointing a number one priority player. And with the coffers coming in for Maxi as well, led to that because that gives us a bit of flex. But we were talking in the chat actually the other day when Kane Kessler-Hayden was picked up for 3 million. And sort of, I said, wow, I like Kane Kessler-Hayden when he was with us, but 3 million for him. Yes, it is the Championship. You sort of think, wow, what are the sort of bids on players that Argyle are having to compete against, even in League One? For that number 9 that everybody wants, that's going to get you goals every season. So, look, let's hope that there is still a couple of decent signings coming, and that Tom and matey are doing all they can to try and bring them in. David and Tom Randall, bring them in. So, yeah, moving on from that then, let's get the slide deck up because you all like a good slide. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We appreciate on this hot Saturday evening. And yes, for those that are new to us, we like to also put up a bit of a slide deck to give some visual representation of what we're talking about tonight. And Gavin and I were feverishly firing away minutes before the show, the past hour, trying to get it together because we've been out and busy all day, but we try and bring this to you. Please also give us a like and a follow on our Block 9 accounts. That's on X, on YouTube as well, Facebook, etc. Just Blue Sky. If you're on there as well, we know there are quite a few Argyle fans on there now. I can't keep up with it all, but Carl does do a good job for us to keep the posts going on each platform. So you might see some differences in posts because it might be Carl. There might be the odd thing I put up as well.
Or there might be the odd retweet from Gavin, which is hastily deleted.
Oh, well, you mean political
Starmer tweets? Come on.
Nothing worse than forgetting that you're in the Block 9 account, not your own. So let me just bring up a few more comments.
We've all done it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not just the other pod that makes idiots of themselves. No, we do it all the time. I just want to add on that. Actually, I think just to point and note, because there's a lot of time and effort that goes in to producing these shows, and everybody's fans. And obviously, they did plan. Yes, I'm referring to Argyle Life. They did plan that trip in advance. They did it last season as well. So they booked everything. They had their flag done. So why not go and enjoy it? I think the abuse that happened off the back of that was atrocious, certainly to a certain individual. I think it's just appalling. And I think people that have to create a new account to go out there and slander someone and abuse them, I think is pathetic. So, in support of them, they've done a great job. They've had fun out there. We would love to do that. We just don't have the budget. So please sponsor us and please fund, and we might do it next season. But no, just a shout out there because that was definitely not called for. And, I myself have made an idiot of myself many times. So joining that fun. Ninja Matt, everyone that wanted to leave and didn't buy into us as a club had buggered off. Brilliant. We're now in a position of players wanting to be here. Last season was the opposite. Yeah, absolutely. What we got, Zoo Corner. What's everyone's thoughts on Langstaff name being mentioned? I would say stay away from him. Herbie, any thoughts on him quickly?
Well, he was really good at Notts County. I remember thinking last season that we wanted him, and then he went to Millwall. I don't know how many games he's played, but he's played 20 to 30. He's only scored 1 goal, so he's been really disappointed with them. So I'd probably agree. I'd probably stay away from him. But when he was at Notts County, he scored I think it was 40 odd goals, and none of them were pens. So it was he had a ridiculous record. But yeah, I'm staying away from him now because he's proven he can't do it in the Championship, let alone League One.
Yeah, fair enough. Apologies for Gavin smacking his mic around there in the background. We've both got new mics and they are super sensitive. So if you can hear that. Stephen Cooper, I thought Schumacher pod was good. What do you guys think? I didn't listen to that one. I just hadn't had the time. Anybody else listen to that? It came out, was it?
Which one? The Schumacher one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a listen early one morning. It was quite interesting. So I can't remember what it was. It was PFC Brad or someone said he calls him Chippy Tits, which always makes me giggle. Says don't bother watching 2 hours. Here's the highlights. He fell out with Low. He likes the fresh air, and there was another point of Scott. But actually, it was. The thought process around him going to Stoke was probably the most interesting thing of it. and I've got a car alarm going outside the front door now. It's all going off today, isn't it? So when I've got a microphone where everyone can hear me, there's like sound everywhere. He kind of said that when he was offered a job by Andy Parkinson and then a follow-up call from Simon, like Lowy was like, "You're coming with me, aren't you, lad?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "No, I'm not." And I think that was the moment they fell out, which is probably, I imagine the sort of natural evolution of things. He said that he was basically had lots of imposter syndrome when he first took over the squad, saying, "Look, we're all in this together. This is my first time too, so bear with me, and we'll all work on this together," which I thought was really honest. And then the going to Stoke thing, it was around budget. Funnily enough, it was around playing budget, and they had the 6th highest budget in the league. And his agent at the time said, "When are you ever going to get another club with the 6th highest budget in the Championship to go and manage? If you ever want to manage Everton one day, this is the springboard you need." And that's why he went in the Waka Waka. So it was really good. I thought really honest. He spoke very well, but he doesn't he? Nothing there that really didn't surprise anybody. But I thought it was a really good pod actually.
No, fair enough. So at least we had someone that did listen to it. So thank you, Gav, for that insight. So Natasha saying Pleggy for vice captain. Absolutely. Captain. No, Joe, I imagine Joe will be back as a regular. So yeah, but definitely a great shout out there.
But
right.
I think if Joe does hang up his boots, it's got to be Pleggy next if he's still here. Definitely.
Yeah, because he's got 2 years, isn't he, on his with his extension. So right, let's get on to the slide deck. So yeah, first up for those that are listening post on the podcast platforms and not watching, Aribim Pepple. So there we go. So he joins us recently. So bit of a player profile on there. 22 years old, Canadian. Primary position is a striker. It can also play right winger. I've got to hope these stats are right that we pulled out last minute. So joins us, yeah. So Gavin, what's your thoughts on Pepple?
From what I saw of him yesterday, strong. He's a big lump. Quicker than I thought he was going to be, but unfortunately the patterns of play yesterday were awful. But he was up against 2 quite dominant and big lump centre halves from the 2 Bundesliga. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to actually mention the league that these teams playing anymore without getting an 8 mail. I think once we get more control over football against lesser sides, I think he'll come to his own. But strong in the air, from what I could see, seemed to hold up reasonably well. From the highlights reel that I saw of him, he seems to score a variety of goals. He seems to be able to get in a bit like Sally gets it. He gets in behind and also gets it sort of into the near post and scores from there. Is he the finished article? No. Is he going to score 20 goals this year? Unlikely. Has he got all the raw materials on the bench to make a very nice cake? Yes.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Shout's good there. So, Herbie, your thoughts on Pebble?
Yeah, he seems all right. Obviously, I think we got it from Luton. So I remember we were talking on the group chat as well about would we rather have is it Adebayo or him? And I brought up that Adebayo was he wasn't clinical in front of goal at all, and I didn't want him as our statement signing. So I'm glad we've got this young sort of player as a backup, as someone that wants to when we get our number 9, our main sort of threat. We've got 2 players in behind him that is going to force him into the team, going to make him work for the number 9 spot instead of just thinking, I've got it because I'm the statement signing.
Yeah. No, yeah, good. And I've just picked up. Sorry, I was distracted briefly trying to get his full name up after Sue Corner said, "Could you not fit his full name on the slide?" So there it is on the.
Do you want to pronounce that one, Mike?
Aribus Timanu Opirium Manuel Bimpaffer. Yeah, whatever.
Not a chance.
Like I said, it's not just others that embarrass themselves. I've got no issues in doing it either. Yeah, your thoughts, Carl, on Aribim?
Yeah, it's hard to go off just one preseason game, but yeah, he looks a unit. He looks tall, big, strong, kind of the same mold as Tijani a little bit. He showed a little bit of pace. I'm not sure if he's going to be really, really pacey because he's quite a big bloke to get his body around, but yeah, hopefully he'll bring something different if we need to, be physical and go long. And I think in the calendar year he got about 13 goals out on his loans, so he knows where the net is. And I think he did say in his interview when he joined he wants to get 20 goals this season, so he set the target quite high for himself.
Yeah, no, fair enough. No, he did look massive when I saw one of the pictures of him, and I was like, yeah, he looks like a unit. So, so that was one of the signings over the last couple of weeks, and then on to the next. So Brendan Wiredu, go skip past the picture. If you can read that. To be fair, we didn't have time to try and make these a bit more visual in the output. But 25-year-old Ghanaian, right-footed. So yeah, primary position, centre back, centre midfielder. Ivy, I'll come to you on Wiredu. Thoughts on him?
I was going to say, out of all the signings, like I'm the most excited for him. I think everyone at Fleetwood had not a bad word to say about him. Like for me, he's going to be the new Kamara. I reckon. Like he's going to be an absolute fan favourite. Just like working for the ball. When I saw him pre-season, he was just like, it was like they couldn't get the ball off him. Just like passing, spreading passes everywhere. Like he was like, I thought he had a really good game, but just like everything that I've heard about him, he seems like he's going to be that player for us.
Yeah, no, don't disagree on that. Gavin?
Comfortable on the ball, I think, is the one thing I got from him. We'll come on to tactics a bit later, but when he kind of drops into the middle of the back two to make it a back three in possession, he was pressed highly and severely yesterday and won the sort of the duels that he had. He seemed to beat a man and find a pass. So comfortable on the ball, very athletic, got good pace, and I think the overriding thing, comfortable on the ball. Simple.
Yeah, I can see from some of the sort of stats shown on there, high pass accuracy as well up there, so always good. But yeah, no, so that is Brendan Wiredu. You got any thoughts, or does Sophia have any thoughts, Carl, on
apart from sticking her hair over my bald head like she normally does? Yeah, like I said pre-show before we went on about him reminding me a bit like Jan Songo, and now Voodoo's joined, yes, which will make him happy that I mentioned Songo's name. But yeah, he seems like he's got an experienced head on his shoulders. Obviously, captain with Fleetwood. Yeah, he looked comfortable in the ball, dropping back when needs be. I think he's going to be one of our better signings, definitely with Amici as well. But yeah, I like what I saw from him yesterday, and he talks really well as well. I watched his interview afterwards, and he talks a good game too.
Yeah, no, good. I knew I could rely on you lot to catch up on the videos of your Argyle TV because I've barely had a chance to do that with how busy it's been at work. So, and then trying to get other stuff sorted. Voodoo's in tonight, evening video. I don't think Wiredu is from Ghana. He's from Peckham. Graham Byrne is also in with us tonight. At least we scored the winner in that game yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, Songo friends.
That's nice, Graham. I like that.
Zoo Corner, Wiredu is a true leader as well as was captain at Fleetwood. Yeah, good point to bring up. And also Zoo Corner saying, Carl looks like Rami. There needs to be a good barber. Ninja Matt also, as I fire some more up, Wiredu and Ibrahim will be unbelievable for us this season. An upgrade from last season. Oh, yeah. Are you agreeing with that, Gavin?
Yeah, midfield, I think all four are better than what we've had. Well, if you include Benarous in that, I don't know where he's going to play. He was wide right yesterday. But if you look at the midfield we have now and the midfield we had last year, you could argue that Adam Randall would get in that midfield, but the rest, not a chance. They're all upgrades, most definitely. More athletic, better on the ball, fitter, younger, stronger. Need I go on? I think the big bonus here is our midfield now is light years away from probably what it has been for a number of years, in fairness.
Yeah, because you've got Malachi Boateng as well, haven't you?
Correct.
So see what he can do this season. On to the next one. So Ayman Benarous, if I pronounced that correctly. There he is in the Austria camp, because there wasn't a photo of him outside of that. So 21 years old, English, eligible for Algeria as well, primary position left midfield. It does say, as you can see in the blue note for those that are watching, if you're not, and you're listening. Injury and recent news. It summarises Benarous suffered from a season-ending cruciate ligament injury in early 2025 while at Bristol City after being released at the end. He signed a 1-year deal with us, and I think that was the thing with him, wasn't it? We've taken a bit of a punt on him by offering him a 1-year contract because of that risk of his injuries, Herbie, on that one.
Yeah, and I also saw as well, there were lots of Bristol City fans, and I think the quote was, "I've never been so happy for a player to leave us," and it was in the nicest way possible, because after he did his cruciate or whatever he did, they said he came back and he just wasn't the same player, but there was a previous like 8 to 10 game span, and they thought he was unplayable and he was unbelievable and he was really good, but then after his injury he obviously just declined. So I think they're definitely hyping him up. They're saying he's a good player, and if he can stay injury free and try and put his ligament past him, I think he will probably be really good for us.
Well, Ninja Matt agrees. Ayman is going to be class. If we keep him fit, he'll be a season changer. Gavin, your thoughts on Benarous? I think there's always that risk when someone comes back from such a major injury. They're always going to be a little bit tentative.
I agree, but he's got to come back and stay prolonged fit at some stage. Let's hope it's with us. Back to sort of Herb's statement earlier. I was speaking to James Minaker in the week when he was at Argyle. He went up to Bristol City. They were mentioning him, saying he was better than Scott Twine when he was 19. So if that's when they first signed Twine, they were like, "Why have we done that when we've already got this kid? He should be pushed forward." And we all know what that man did to us in an MK shirt down here and what he's done since. So if he's anywhere near that level again, once he's fit and got some match rhythm, then the recruitment team need a hat being doffed in their general direction, because he will tear League One up, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I think it's a great signing, and I can concur with everyone else who's sort of mentioned that so far.
Yeah, no. And anything for you to add, Carl, on him?
Nah, I just hope it pays off, because like all the Bristol City fans that have, like you guys have mentioned, all the comments have been positive. I don't think I've seen one negative comment from a Bristol City fan. So as long as he can put, because he's not just one ACL, he's done 2, hasn't he? So to come back from 2 ACLs takes some doing. I mean, look how Cooper struggled when he tried to get back. So I think for a free signing, I think it's worth a gamble for a year. I'm glad we've done it for a year, not gone into like a long kind of 2-3 year contract, and then he breaks down.
We've got an add-on though, Carl, haven't we? So we can
we've got an add-on
at any time. So if he's still
fit
at Christmas, I think you do it.
It's definitely worth a gamble from what the City fans have said, and if he keeps himself fit, then he could be the one to watch for us this season.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And I see you did put the response in there, so I did see you put that up earlier, Stephen Cooper.
Just checked, but I think it was him.
Yeah, who was our 48? Yes, they look good. Carl has picked that, as you can see there, just to bring it up. I believe that was Ayman Stephen. So if anyone else knows different, please put that in.
It was either that or Joe Hatch. I think it was
Stephen, not Ayman Stephen. We haven't got Ayman Stephen, just to clarify those that are watching.
Just typing quickly, Gav.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You know what it's going to be like? It'll be like, have we signed Ayman Stephen? Who the hell is he?
Well, I did just try and vote him, so
he's just trying to
multitask. Oh no, there you go. I don't care. Voodoo saying, let me just bring that up. I thought Benarous was subject to an international sanctions along with Russia. This is one of those where you should read the tweets, Mike, before you put them on the screen. No, you shouldn't. Just put them up. So love that. And then Zoo Cornet, yes, number 48 was Ayman. So let me just skip to the next one. Actually, so I didn't put it in my notes, but actually wanted to bring it up. The Tegan Finn. So Cleverley obviously came out. I haven't got the quote right in front of me, but came out saying that he's been impressed with what he's seen of him. I'm guessing Rooney gave him some insight, of course, if you listen to that episode of Tales, they met up in the pub in Manchester before joining us. But that was positive, Herbie, wasn't it, to sort of see a bit more of an update on Tegan Finn?
Yeah, Tegan Finn and hopefully Joe Hatch as well. I think we'll probably get more minutes for us this season, especially if you think we've got Carabao Cup, FA Cup, plus Papa John's now as well, and the 2 extra rounds of FA Cup we've got. There's definitely going to be spaces for them to play a full 90 or a 60-minute game. And it's just development, isn't it? And that's why we've bought players like Aseni as well for development. And if we've got enough young players to develop together, they all fit. They're all in a community where they can all push one another. So I think it'll be great.
Yeah, no, I'm looking. I'd like to see him get in some games and stuff. So fingers.
Why does Cleverley always look like he's about to cry? There's only been one game.
There's an image of him clapping from Austria for those that are listening and wondering what Carl's referring to.
Carl, you witnessed the game as well, right? I would really be crying if
I
said
think we were all crying, all week, especially when that own goal went in.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just reading Zoo Corner's comment while you two were talking over each other. I was at Truro game last night, and they seem to think they're getting Freddie and Finn on loan.
Finn on loan. Ooh.
Wow, yeah, that's interesting one. So so let's now head to Austria. Well, not literally, but yeah, we obviously the lads arrived, got out on their bikes, cycling straight away. Weather was obviously not the greatest over there, but I'm sure they're probably happy not to be warming up in this heat we've been getting here, which has been a bit intense. So, yeah. So, Gavin, Carl, I know, and Herbie, I think you've caught up on some of the videos. I got back from work late and watched the last 5 minutes. And even then, I was a bit bored just seeing those 5 minutes. Of course, there was the goal from the trialist goalkeeper. And when I saw that replay, which Steve put in our group chat, it was like, wow. I mean, that's pretty bad, isn't it? I mean, that was worse than Matey's goal that he let in when he had his first game for us. So, yeah, what do you make then, Gavin, of the game? Let's focus on the game a little bit, because I think comments have blown up and it is just a friendly and you can't read too much into it. But Cleverley did say, didn't he, that he was disappointed that what they had done in practice hadn't been put into that game on the pitch.
He was right. It was pretty dismal. We didn't really control the ball very much. It was a bit bubbly, a bit, I suppose, a typical pre-season game, but there was no real patterns of play. Obviously, I was trying to do some tactical analysis. There's a couple of bits that were obvious, but actually patterns of play through the thirds, which I was hoping to see a lot more of, we didn't get to a massive degree. We looked pretty toothless up front. There was no real. The wing backs overlapped a couple of times, but there was a whipped cross in on the first half. Who took the free kick? Was it Patterson or Wiredu? One of them whipped the ball in first half, and we probably should have scored.
Amici.
Amici should have had a penalty as well in the first half. I think he beat 3 or 4 and was hacked down in the box. And obviously in Austria, you can do that, and that's not a problem.
But let's not forget Muslich was the referee.
Yeah, correct. Or it was his brother anyway. It was a doppelganger.
Yeah.
So, could we have had a penalty? He got 1-1. Would that have flattered to deceive? Probably. It was a pretty dour game, I have to say. The fact that you replaced 9 of the 11 as well after 60 minutes doesn't help things, does it either? I think they took it far more seriously in terms of like the way they approached the game than we did. There were a few studs being left in. One thing I will say out of the whole thing, actually, so despite players or tactics, whatever, togetherness is still there, because there was a stud left in by, I can't remember who it was, and then Boateng, they squared up to, I don't know who it was, I can't remember. Boateng squared up, and then Patterson, who's 4'3" on tippy toes, comes belting in from 30 yards, and he's got 2 by the scruff. And then it all went off, and I thought, oh, yeah, hang on.
I think it was Caleb, what's his name?
Caleb Watts.
Not Caleb Watts. Oh, God.
It was Roberts, wasn't it? It was Roberts.
Yeah, it was him that pushed one of their players.
Yeah, as it's 39 minutes, I thought it was going to be like a 99 call in rugby. There you go.
Rugby bin.
Yeah, that don't help. But yeah, I genuinely love the fact that they weren't taking a backward step. It was Caleb Roberts, thank you, who snapped their player. Thanks, Zoo Corner. So that was the big overriding thing for me, is the fact that it was 1 in, all in, and don't care who you are, what you're doing, pre-season game or not. So I like the fact that culture's been built already by team.
Yeah.
There were some standout players, but I'm sure the guys will get into that in a minute. I don't want to steal everyone's thunder, but the spirit and the togetherness and the we're not taking a backward step was the thing that shone for me.
Yeah, no, good. And Herbie, did you see the highlight? Did you watch the game?
I watched the first half, and then to be honest, I didn't want to watch much else. I'm being completely honest. But from first
Fair
half,
enough.
I didn't think we played too bad. I mean, like first 10, 15, I thought we were pretty awful. But we did grow into the game a bit, and we started playing on the floor. And like Wiredu came back and was like being more calm on the ball, controlling the play, and like we were controlling the pace of the game for quite a while. And then obviously we put it on our own net, and then we were back to square one, and we couldn't get hold of it again. So I definitely think that set us back. But if that own goal didn't go in, would we have played a bit better? I don't know.
Yeah. So do you, on that note, and I forgot to ask you as well, Gav, but just you first, Herbie, on that note, with what Cleverley said at the end then, if we didn't see or if we didn't put into practice any of the stuff that he said was done in training. Now, I agree with Gavin, when you swap the team around completely at half time, you're never going to have a squad an 11 that's going to settle very quickly. But yeah, what would you say to his comments and post match on that?
I thought it's probably the clearest the manager's been with us for quite a while. A lot of the time, Rooney, it was just him saying, "Oh, I've got it wrong," and then a lot of time, Music said he got it wrong. Managers tend to put the blame a lot on themselves, when actually sometimes, if they're telling the player and will tell the whole squad, this is their sort of tactics, this is how they want them to play, and they don't do it, it's kind of the manager's fault for not getting across. But then realistically, what else can the manager do? He can only tell them to play a certain way. In terms of like decision making and like what they're doing on the ball, he has no control over that. He can only tell them. He can't physically get their leg and move it, can he? So I do think a lot of the time, I don't mind him being like subtly critical of the players. I think sometimes they need that, and as fans are watching, we like that sort of like transparency.
Honestly. Yeah, honest and transparent. And I mean, Gav, would you add much more to that? I think that's what will be great about Cleverley, is I think he will be honest and transparent.
It's going back to what James said when we did our pod with the Watford podcast. Yeah. He just said that he was probably honest to a fault, and he was looking at the game and commenting on the game like a fan would afterwards, which actually, going back to Herb, is really refreshing. There's not Rooney look at the floor, I'm really disappointed, we should have been better. It was really articulate. I mean, if you look at what if you just transcribe the two things, what was said between Rooney and Cleverley, the gist is bang on. It wasn't great, but because Tom's so more articulate, I think, than Wayne was, and has clearly got his head in what had just been delivered over the last 5 or 6 sessions, I thought he was brilliant at conversing that to the fan, which was we weren't good enough. We disappointed. Yeah. He knows, what did he say? My players are better than that.
Yes, that's it.
My players are better than that. 3 weeks in, and my players, and it goes back to what the whole thing around the mentality of one in, all in. If it's going to be a punch up, we're all going to get sent off. That's clear. That's there. That togetherness is bang on the money. So now, with a bit of finesse and a bit of skill, I think we'll be fine. But I love his honesty. And I love how articulate he is with that honesty. So for me, it's thumbs up so far.
Yeah. Good. Carl, did you pit yourself and suffer the whole 90 minutes of that? And also, I think you watched that one. Certainly, I know Gav did, but also the training where they pick Cleverley on the mic and stuff like that. If you did any of that, give us your thoughts on both of those.
Yeah, when they mic'd up Cleverley for the training, and then all the other coaches joined in as like the moving mannequins kind of thing. Right. Was brilliant to kind of listen into what is said during like drills and training, instead of just seeing the players run around and doing what they're told without hearing kind of the background noise. So it was great to mic them up and actually hear what goes on. And he came across really well. Looked quite fit himself, still running around trying to get blocks in and stuff. I thought the video diaries every day from Austria have been brilliant.
The content's been great.
And I think, because obviously Charlie didn't travel out, I didn't think, did he? It was what's his name, the other guy from Argyle. That's the one, and he stepped in and done really well. So shout out to them for producing the videos. It was also good to see Luke popping in on one of them as well, because obviously his son's over as a goalkeeper. Yeah, and 6'2", 14 already. He's going to be almost as good as his dad, I think, eventually, given a few more years. And on the game itself, I did actually watch all of it. At the start, I was actually on the wrong feed. I was watching like
I did see that on the
a
X.
stats video or something. So I was on the wrong link to begin with. So after
So Carl, does that mean that you posted out on our account the wrong link to all the fans?
No, I posted the right link, but when I went onto YouTube on the homepage, there was like live the game. But I assumed that was the one, and I was sat there waiting like kickoff, and it was just like the Subutio kind of scoreboard thing. I thought, well, surely this must be a video feed, not just this crap. So then when I found it, I joined in. But yeah,
at least it's not me then just making a fool of us.
I mean, first half, I thought, like Herbie said, I thought we did okay. We didn't really threaten at all. I mean, we didn't have a shot in the whole 90, I don't think.
No, it's great.
I thought our shape was okay. Defensively, we looked okay. I mean, it's just the first game, isn't it? It's hard to get much judgment. Obviously, the keeper's howler. Apart from that, I thought he did okay passing out from the back. One mistake is always going to highlight a goalkeeper. If a defender does it, then he gets away with it. But I'm sure he'll be kept on for the games coming up against Truro and Torquay. We're going to run out of time in a minute. We won't have a second choice goalkeeper, will we? So he's going to have to make up for that pretty quickly, unless we find someone else to bring in for a trial. But we're going to be pushing it. Obviously, Hazard probably will be fit for the start of the season, but with no game time, it's going to be tricky. And obviously, Baker's injured as well, so having both of them injured at the same time is actually going back to our previous conversation, Gav, in the WhatsApp chat when we talk about both keepers won't be injured. We won't need another one, and then they both got injured in pre-season, haven't they? So
we need a quality number two. Because there might be a world where Conor Hazard gets picked this year for Northern Ireland, but we don't have more than 3 internationals on duty, so we have to play anyway. We have no choice. Therefore, we're going to need a quality number two, because imagine a world where we've got Zach Baker or someone who's tried and tested, and Conor gets picked as to go to Northern Ireland, and we've already got one player picked on international duty. He's our keeper, and we have to play the reserve.
How many potential internationals have we got now then? It'll be Hazard, Poulsen, who else? Because you've lost the others, haven't we? Who else would be called up? I mean, the Saka for Wales.
Yeah.
I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. So there could be a world where they're picked, and we don't have enough players on duty to cancel the game,
unless Wiredu gets called up for Peckham.
But yeah, Peckham are in a chance of getting into the Euros, so that might work. We need a quality number two. I don't know if this double barrel guy is it. I don't know why we haven't had a look at the guy from Norwich a bit more, because the stuff I read from the Norwich fans was, why the hell have we bloody let him go on a free? He was class, la 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 la. Why have we got Grimshaw instead of this clown? And now all of a sudden he had a trial and he got told to bugger off.
Yeah, no, interesting. I've just put up on back to the presentation deck a few photos just threw into the slide. How good does that kit look? I mean, Carl was wearing the new away one as well, the black and gold, which I did put a slide together. There it is, of the markers and shots. So, Carl, does that look as good in person or better? A bit like this, the home kit?
I think they're both stunning kits. I mean, I would say they're not pure black, because as you can see in the photos, like you got like the kind of the lightish grey mixed in.
To bring out the church.
But no, it's a cracker chip. The only thing that disappoints me is not having the gold collar and not having a retro badge. So I honestly thought we'd go for a retro badge. I think if those two were included, it would be an absolute banger.
Yeah, almost.
And no, I haven't got Cleverley 10 on the back before anyone says anything.
Sorry, can you actually turn around just to prove this?
I don't know if I can get it in.
What's that say?
We want to see your backside.
Does that say Rooney 10 on the back?
No, it doesn't. No.
No, if he lifts it up, he's got Rooney tattooed.
No, Gareth Bale, mate.
Gareth Bale on his car.
Get it right.
Yeah.
Oh my lord, Gareth Bale.
I better prove that's not there as well. Just in case.
Well, it was on a calf, wasn't it? Not on your arm.
It was on a calf. Yeah.
And Zoo Corner said I posted it. It was like Championship Manager '98 type graphics. Brilliant. Oh dear. So we put this slide together of just the signings that have come in so far, and I know some of you touched upon it when we were talking about the 3 new signings just earlier. So from that match, and I'll go back to you, Herbie, out of those new players, who stood out for you in amongst that bunch, in that game yesterday?
It was 2, really. Wiredu was one of them. And the other one, I've heard a lot about him in training. Apparently, he was unbelievable, and that's Mackenzie. I think he's probably going to be. I can't remember the last time Argyle had a very defensive-minded left back, because we've had Mumbers, we've had Ogbeta, Kesler Hayden to some extent, and even Saxon Early would go forward and cross a ball in. Mackenzie does seem the sort of like he's your sturdy defensive sort of left back, and we haven't had that for a long time. So that's obviously how Cleverley wants to play. He wants his fullbacks to be nice and compact, defensive. So he was really impressive. And then I've said about Wiredu, he was thought it was unbelievable. He's going to be a really good asset this season.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And Gavin, some standouts from our new signings for you?
I think Amichi's going to be the standout player. I think he's going to probably do as well, if not better, than that man who didn't turn up till 5 minutes for a kickoff once, and then wandered up to get some kind of stoggy up in the north, in the northeast. I can't remember his name, Witt something. So I think he'll be very good. I must admit, I thought, Patterson, old, legs gone, 33, la la la. When I saw him yesterday, I thought this guy can really play. And he played in the central of the sort of 4-2-3-1. In those 3, played in the middle, which was great. And whoever's cars that is, I'm going to fucking brick it.
I think every car in your street's getting broken.
It isn't mine. I've just texted wife, said, "Can you go and check our car?" It's not ours, so that's handy. It's someone else's. I'll tip it over when I leave here. But no, I think Patterson and Amici are the 2 players that stand out for me. I'll just counter what Herb said about Mackenzie. A couple of times he bombed on and went past who was up there front left. It wasn't Ballymumba. It's Ballymumba in the first half. He got beyond Bally a couple of times, the forgotten man, to get crosses in the box. So I think he can do both. I think he is more defensively minded, but I don't mind him getting forward, and he's clearly got a good left peg to get the cross across. So those 3 stand out for me, but Ibrahim, I won't steal everyone's thunder, but Ibrahim looks like he can get a foot in as well. So I don't think anyone we've signed so far, I'm going, oh my God, what is this at all?
Yeah, and obviously we got the Truro game on Wednesday, and then the Torquay one, etc. So in Bristol City, so it's just there's a lot to still see and witness, isn't there? Just before I come to you on it, Carl, I kept looking, making sure I didn't miss this comment, but Harold joined us a little moment ago. So evening, Harold. Evening, Greens. To be honest, I'm a little worried for the season, he says. So many good players have left the club, and I'm not sure about those who have come in. So obviously, Harold, we just gave a summary from Gavin Herbie on some of these players in yesterday's game. Carl, give your thoughts. And also, you gave it a 5 out of 10 so far. And I think a few have got a similar view on that. It's still early days until we see a bit more of these next couple of games, hopefully, and maybe 1 or 2 more decent sign-ins. Give your thoughts on who stood out for you and even Harold's concerns.
I don't think Pepple was on long enough to kind of comment on. Same with kind of Benarous. He was a lot later on in the game. Obviously, we spoke about Wiredu. I think he was probably the standout out of all of them, and alongside Gavin with Amici. I thought the ball he put in from a free kick on the left, he's got a wicked left foot. I think we're going to do well with if he's on corners as well, corners and free kicks, if we can get Pepple or Arseni on the end of them. He looks quite tasty. He's got a trick in as well. Looks quite pacey, low centre of gravity. So from what I've heard in training, like Herbie said, I think he's going to be one of our brighter attacking players. I thought Caleb Watts again did okay, put a few tackles in. Looks quite stocky and strong. Isn't afraid to get stuck in. Played with his collar up as well, which I've seen online, which is nice. I always like a player playing with his collar up, kind of like Roy Keane-esque kind of style.
Yeah, let's try and do that with that kit.
And going back to that comment, I mean, it's just the start of a new cycle, isn't it? So many players have left us, and when we had the Hardys in, Houghtons when they came in, they were kind of nobodies and struggling, and we made them into the players they kind of are today. So it's just the start of that process again. Players have left, players have come in. We'll make them better, hopefully, and we'll see how it goes.
Just a caveat, or just to add on to that, Carl. When we went up with 101 points, we didn't win a single pre-season game, and I was at a couple and went, "Oh, okay, what's gone on here from last year? We looked terrible." But it was just the team forming, wasn't it? So yeah, I think people need to realise that. But the Unilever stock is still rising high with all the bedwetting. So we'll keep going, guys.
I think we all know this. There's 2 or 3 more to come in, and they have to be. I don't want to say statement signings, but they have to be of decent quality and of decent money, because we're sat on a lot of money at the minute, so we haven't really spent a terrific amount. And if Burrell's one of them, then I think most of us are happy with him if he comes in. Again, he wasn't in the squad for their game today or yesterday.
Yeah, Steve said that.
So that kind of speaks.
He hasn't featured at all for them pre-season yet, I don't think.
No, and we speak to a Burton fan in one of Andy's group chats, and he's not injured or anything, so he must be on the move.
Okay, no, that's interesting. Yeah, Ian in the comments, evening Ian, good to see you. It wasn't a very friendly with a cry out laughter emoji. Also, Harold Ninja Matt is saying, don't be worried, guys. These players got us relegated. Those players, got us relegated. This season, we needed a new start. I know there's all the sort of cliche stuff with regards to, having a reset, etc. But, it has been a bit of that. And sometimes you do need that. Also, Zoo Corner saying the Mackenzie Mumba combo works well because it means Mumba doesn't have to worry about defending.
Just quickly looking at that list there, we've only brought in 1 defender. Do you honestly think we need another centre back? Yes or no?
Yes.
Gavin?
Yes, because I don't think Victor Paulson has the pace to play in a bit like Bradley and Nelson years ago, unless you've got an absolute whiz kid next to him who can mop up if someone goes in behind. Paulson's immense for me. He's one of the best leaders on the pitch in that back line. But in a 3, he's immense. In a 2, I'm worried a bit about his pace.
I just worry if. I hope he doesn't. If Galloway breaks down again, I mean, if he stays fit, he's one of the starters for me. He's a top class defender, especially at League One level. But I just worry if he breaks down again. Again, God bless his soul, Pleggy does tend to pick up the odd injury here and there. Yeah. I'm just worried that if we don't get another centre back, I know we've got Wiredu who can then drop back, but then we might miss him in the midfield. So
yeah,
I think another one potentially wouldn't go amiss.
I think we either need a centre half or a left back.
Yeah,
speaking to James Greenacre about this, because our best centre half can also our best centre half on the left hand side. Galloway can play left back, not a problem. So he'll reserve there.
Yeah,
and Mackenzie can play left centre half, so that's not a problem either. But you need then one or the other, because if one breaks down, you've got a hole in that system. So I think we need a left-footed centre half or a good backup left back.
Or again, someone like Wiredu who can play in multiple positions.
Yeah. Who can play
Cleverley
midfield or you're right. Yeah.
It's also one of the reasons that that's why I like Mackenzie being more defensive, because that going back to Zoo Corner's comment, he said about Mumba, he doesn't have to defend, but then so that's one point, and then another point is that actually Mumba doesn't have to arse about with it in his own half. The amount of times we've seen Mumba try and take someone on in his own half, lose the ball, and we either concede or we should have conceded.
Wasn't there? Yeah,
I know, it's just so many times. And if we can push Mumba up the pitch, because Mumba's best attribute is dribbling, isn't it? Taking on players is what he is absolutely best at. So if he can do that up the pitch instead of down the pitch, and Mackenzie can feed the ball to him and win the ball back and be the defensive player, then that link up is going to work.
I think if you've got Galloway there as well as that left pod, Mumba will have so much more confidence to take the ball on. So he'll try more in that final third. Yeah. I think last year he thought about it and then didn't do it and then didn't do either. So he didn't take the guy on and he didn't make the pass and kind of lost it. So I think he'll have much more clarity of thought moving forward on that left-hand flank to go, I'm either going to take him on and cut in and watch for Mackenzie go on the overlap, but he's going to have clarity of thought of, and I think TC sent it a couple of times, haven't they? You've got to take risks. We got to take risks in the final third. It's freestyle football. When we get to the other end, we're not going to play numbers robotic in the final third. Might play a bit more robotic in the middle of the pitch, and certainly we're going to play very clearly at the back. But we've got 4 or 5 players who are really good on the ball, who should just be able to play what's in front of them, to use another rugby term. Heads up.
Mumba offers that more than anyone.
I agree. Him and Amici, if you had him on one side, him on the other, and maybe Patson in the middle at the moment, or Caleb Watts, I think that's dynamic, really dynamic.
Because with Mumba, if he takes a defender on and he gets tackled, when the ball next comes to him, he'll just take him on again. He will not shy away, even if he's getting tackled 4 or 5 times. He will keep trying it. So he's got the ability that it will eventually happen, and we will create chances from it. It's undeniable.
Just going no, great points, guys, and just so a few of the comments who agreeing that we do need someone. Just going to bring up Voodoo made a point. We could do with a couple of players with promotion records in the UK in League One, very inexperienced so far. I think that's a fair shout. We've also got Andy B. Good evening, Andy. Mackenzie's main strength was as an overlapping fullback at Aberdeen, provided all the width on the left. Aberdeen pinging in crosses, 1v1 defending, very decent. So that's a brilliant insight there from Andy. Thank you, Andy. Also, Zoo Corner with a few comments. Burrell hasn't played one pre-season game for them, not been picked for the last 2, as we noted. So, hopefully it could be us and maybe a couple of other clubs that are after him, hence the delay. Also, Zoo Corner saying, I feel we do need another centre-back, possibly a loan one if we do go for one. Touch upon the loans in a second. You can see it on the screen. Mumba can play at left back as well as cover, Zoo Corner, and also Zoo Corner with a comment on, I feel like Barley is going to have a massive season for us this season because he is going to have the freedom to do what he does best going forward, which is what the guys just said. And in a league where he's not going to have the defensive or midfield threat as you get in the Championship. Mm-hmm. So it will be great to see him get back to his best. The 5 loan spots, I think it was Zoo Corner as well saying, will Cleverley use them? In a comment he posted earlier when we got onto this slide, with 2 or 3 more signings. I mean, the thing is, I suppose, Carl, it's good that we've got 5 loan spots available. You don't have to use them if you don't feel you need to. But I suppose as we get closer towards the end of that window, we may end up, we said about goalkeepers and the likes, if we can't sign one on a perm, then we may end up having to, dip into that.
I think it's a nice, refreshing change. We're not going after loans and we're signing players that want to be here on permanent contracts. I think if we can get as less loans as possible, I think that might be better for team morale and just general kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Togetherness, not, having loans sometimes can kind of destroy the apple cart a little bit. But I think if we can get away without using some money, I don't think Cleverley will use the 5 loan spots available. I think a couple by the end of August, maybe if we have an injury or 2 or someone comes available that he's worked with, or someone at United maybe or whatever. But I think it's nice that we haven't gone down that road yet, and it's an option if we need it later on,
I think it's a good point, I suppose, Gav, I'll come to you on it, that, obviously he has got his ties at United. Rooney didn't really use them at all. He's also got the Watford side. There's an element of where, the management changes there. They're going to want to sort of assess that youth team first. And then maybe we might well see some loans drop very late on, for that reason. So, what do you think?
Yeah, he's well connected in football. There's going to be lots and lots of players he's played with that are at other clubs now, behind the scenes as loans managers and this, that, and the other that he'll be able to tap into, I'm sure. One of the things that's just sprung to my mind, actually, and it goes back to Chippy Tits' interview, and he was saying around that he was actually bigging up Carl's neighbour, Jimmy, saying ex-neighbour, yeah, he's now moved. Bringing when they brought in the trifecta, the perfect trifecta, Whittaker, Azaz, Mumba. He said basically he wanted, they weren't scoring enough outside the box. and that's why Azaz was taken and Whittaker. But if you look at our squad this year, it's just sprung to me and slapped me around the face. Benarous, yeah, Amici, Mumba. Surely that's a new trifecta, isn't it? If you look at the quality of those three players, because actually Benarous has got a lot of Finn Azaz in him. Well, not literally, but he has. He's got a lot of Finn Azaz in him. Mumba's still Mumba, right? And I think that Amici, the boys are on the floor. Amici is a absolute upgrade on Morgan Whittaker, is my humble opinion.
That's a statement.
I've got a sample size
yeah.
of 60 minutes, but hey, I'm jumping on that bandwagon. You heard it here first. So if you look at the loan system, we were loan FC, weren't we? You know, Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday were ribbing us every week on Twitter. Our loan FC have won again by a deflection off someone's backside. Great.
It's a band voodoo.
What's a trifecta? It's like voodoo. Behave yourself. I know what you do for a living. Don't give me like shit. You don't know what a trifecta is. You're a very intelligent man, just from Borneo. I think those three could light up the league this year in a very similar way. And they are our players, and they've all been signed on. Apart from Benarous, have all been signed on nice long deals. So that's just coming to my head. The loan system. I'm sure there's a couple of crackers out there that we've not even thought about.
It's a bet, Voodoo saying. I think, I'm just trying to look. Stephen Cooper, I thought Hasney's boy was coming. I think I did see a post about him actually at United in terms of looking to potentially get some sort of game time. So I think that might in terms of at United, but that might put the kibosh on him coming down to us. But I think with the whole loan thing, as we get close to that window closing, I think we may well see a few come in, and we'll wait until that time. Hopefully we get a couple more signings. There's enough coffers, as I said earlier, in the pot now with Al Hajj going, the weekly wage that frees up. The same with Beidou, the same with Wright, the same with Better to a degree, but certainly Talavirov. So there's enough there, but I do still wonder, and we alluded to this earlier as well, whether or not some of those players, certainly the strikers, the number nines that everybody's still sort of crying out for, are still out of reach a little bit. But we'll see. There's still time to go. That's for sure. He's gone to Notts County. That's might be reference to, as Zoo Corner's just said, to Hasni Joffrey's son. Ian saying his trifecta a rugby term. I like that. So thanks for that, Ian. Zoo Corner as well, again, saying Hasney's lad has signed for Notts County on loan. Thank you. So people who are more keeping up to date.
We might have a little special guest in our next live, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, David Mortimer on X might join us for...
You mean you've managed to coax him?
Trying.
That's right. We do love the banter that he brings to.
We need a him and Voodoo sort of banter off, really, on the pod. That'd be fantastic.
Oh dear, yeah.
Well, as he's been banned by the official Argyle chat page on Facebook, Dave, then he's short of places to go and pit his banter. So, we would welcome him on, of course. And if anybody else, actually, on that note, an important point, if anybody that joins us regularly does want to come on, if there's any opposition fans that are dialing in tonight, then give us a shout, drop us a DM. Probably best one is on X, or you can email us at block9podcast@gmail.com, and we can bring you on. We do want to aim to bring a bit more in the season with a catch-up potentially that we're discussing with Andy, who does his he used to do a championship chats on his TikTok account, and we're looking to try and bring something similar here as well, where we can involve other teams.
Dave and Bradders, that's not going to end too well.
Yeah, no.
I say as well, I have blocked David Mortimer. So,
have you? Oh,
yeah,
why?
He was annoying me. Sorry.
Why have you blocked David Mortimer? He's got
friendly banter.
No,
I bet you still follow Bradders though, don't you?
No, I don't.
Oh dear.
Plot twist, he is Bradders.
That would be a great twist.
Imagine
That would be the plot twist. It'd be like Scooby-Doo, take the mask off, and it's Bradders.
Oh dear, Alex. Good evening. Good to see you.
I'm proudly blocked now, so thank Christ.
I was blocked months ago.
Well, I mean, come on. You're not on the ultimate block list. I mean, I still cannot get to see anything from
That's
Plymouth
mental.
Argyle's official X account.
You're gonna have to send a little email in, Mike, and just come on.
No, I really couldn't give a that's obviously because also on Instagram, I follow them and can see everything. And my name tag is exactly the same on Instagram as it is everywhere else. It's just, I find that quite funny. I'm sure if someone mentions, they would unblock.
Who is admin? Is it Charlie Rose? Who's admin for Argyle?
I have no idea. I think it's whoever it is, you to a degree, I'd say being a little bit overzealous. Just have a bit of fun with it.
And probably back then, Mike, what was a couple of years ago now? That
it was to do with
it's probably a different person that was happening back then.
It was that lantern outdoor light where they just stuck the crest on, and I get it. They licensed the brand out to a third party who put football badges on all sorts of tat. And it was £70 for an outside light that was really retail, 20 quid. And I just, if I was in charge of doing that deal for licensing, I'd be embarrassed, just saying. And as an ex-buyer, I think I could sort of confidently say that, they were mugging the brand off. And for me, I don't think that's right. If you're gonna put your label onto or your branding onto items, I mean, shirts are expensive as it is, but that is the way we're all used to that now. I think when you're sticking it on stuff like that, third-party merch and licensing it out, and it's.
But have you seen the price of those neon lights and graphics and stuff? They're crazy prices.
Yeah, well, that'll be the same thing. I get why they do it, because they'll get a commission, a percentage off the license fee for that, and they may well have dictated a really high percentage. But looking at, I think when I did at the time, other clubs' logos, the product was at the same sort of price point. I think it was actually $79.99, which I nearly fell off my chair. So I think, sort of like fans invest enough in the club. And I always say this, you can't do it on everything. You do have to make obviously a profit, but sometimes just put it out at a good retail where you can all make some good margin and sell more of it. That's just my view. But so that's why I was blocked.
But you're at the fans forum soon, Mike, so you can stand up and ask that.
Should I go in there with a plaque? Can you breathe them?
You need to replace. I bought this hat and I paid £1.50.
Yeah.
It now needs to be. I was going to buy this lamp.
That could be the new one.
Just see Simon going off for fuck's sake.
Sophie is still with me, so apologies. For Gavin's language. It's a late one, and she's still sat next to me. Bless her. Back in the comments. Zukon is saying you should get Dave and Bradders on together. Maybe we'll have like a sort of like boxing style banter session, and we can do that. Ninja Matt, the man, the legend, coming on the pod. No way, not entirely sure he's actually real. We don't know if he will come on, but Carl's trying to entice him.
In the comments to start off with, he's at a festival tonight, so he can't make it.
Is he? Fair enough. We did have Voodoo did join us on our old guys.
He said he'd drop in, so come on, Voodoo.
Yeah. So in the comments, he is Pitt. Yes, Schalke fans who want to discuss their defeat to the third Bundesliga, Wiesbaden today. Get in touch.
Wiesbaden.
Yes, accent on 9. If you spell it right, Gavin. Ask about. Sorry, Stephen. He did put this comment, and I was because there's a few that have come flooding in. Also, Miss Pilgrim Petey, so I'll go back to that in a second as well. There we go. So Stephen said, not the Ayman Stephen, of course. Said, does anyone remember in the late 70s, kids used to go to Harper's Park with a bucket in hand to pick up stones from the pitch, and then they were then given a free ticket for the game. Mad now I can't get a season ticket. I'm not old enough to remember that. I think the only one here that
over to Gavin.
No, because he's not. He's still.
I'm 47. You cheating. Yeah. In the late 70s, I was born in 77. What was I, 3 with a bucket in my hand?
Yeah.
It wasn't chimney sweep land. It wasn't Victorian Britain.
If Andy was on tonight, he'd probably go,
Andy was, I was in my teens, but I still did.
I remember that. Yeah, God. Let me go back in the comments. Hang on, let me just switch out to this for a second. Pilgrim Petey, there he is. I knew he'd put a comment in. Has been with us since the start of the show as well. Excited for this season, but a little worried with Cleverley's comments about wanting a smaller squad with a few players. Yeah, great shout. With a few players who are injury prone. Hopefully they can stay fit and we can also get in a few loan signings later in the window. I mean, he would have had a decent squad size at Watford, wouldn't he, with all the youth and the availability there. So, Herbie, I'll throw that one at you. I mean, is that a bit of a concern? I mean, obviously, we mentioned Galloway, obviously a couple of the new signings with the odd niggle. What would you respond with on that one?
Especially as well, this new Daryl Dyke guy that we're going to get. I've got one of my best mates is a West Brom fan. Like, I'm quite close with him. He wants to go to more Argyle games, but he's been talking to me about Daryl Dyke and like his like legs are made out of sand. Like, honestly, like he's injured all the time. So there's him. Obviously Galloway gets niggles all the time as well. I'm trying to think. This Benarous, obviously with his whatever is his ligament. Hazard in goal. We are a very injury prone team. So, but maybe that's what we're doing with all these youngsters. We're getting these youngsters in that can push these players for spots, and then if they do get injured, which is likely, in our luck, then they can come through and play.
Yeah, no, pushing those senior players to then injure themselves so they can get in.
We don't recommend any kids or anyone going down to Harper's Park on Monday lobbing stones in there just in case anyone gets injured.
I thought Voodoo's response. So Voodoo's reply to Stephen's little memory was lobbing stones on the Harper's Park every week, then getting paid to remove them. Clever. Yeah, absolutely. Zoo Corner saying with regards to the lights, my son wanted one of those lights for his room, and it was like £300. I was like, nah. That's the thing. It can be a bit silly. I don't think I'll check, but I don't think the wife can do neon lights in Block 9. And it reminds me, yes, I need to get on and sort out. We actually was testing it. If you're only as sad as me, but on one of the old kits was sticking the Block 9 branding on the back. That's actually Sophie got this one from her school. She won it in the raffle, didn't you, Soph? And the fact that I wasn't there, but Joe said there was a lovely hamper or something that Joe was eyeing up when the number got pulled out, and Sophie went straight for the Argyle top. Good
girl, Soph. Good girl.
Still sat with us. But what else have we got going on in the comments? I think that's it for the minute. So back to the presentation deck. What are we on? 1 hour 20.
10 minutes.
Yeah, so Carl was like open for an hour because
another 10 because I'm sticking to this chair.
I've done an hour at Dartmoor and I really can't cope with tonight's show.
It was longer than an hour. I was just
I know. I'm only playing. So Gavin wanted to put these two slides in. So we had this slide in on our last show, and then he's also got a which is the next one. Sort of more about what he saw in the game yesterday and what he thinks we might do. So, Gavin, over to you on these two.
Yeah, it wasn't a great sample, I'll be honest, because we didn't really get much control of the ball, a little bit in the first half and about 10 minutes in the second half. Other than that, it was quite a scrappy game. But what was interesting, the bit that raised my eyebrows the most was out of possession, we kind of play 4-2-3-1. There's two holding midfielders. Forget the names on this because it's an old one. Because Plaggy was injured for the warm-up game. This is just an example. But you've basically got a back four, two holding midfielders inside that will try and disrupt play and then move it up the pitch. Three, obviously Ramway Hadj is here as well, and he's gone. Three 10s, if you like. One central, two wide, one left, one right, and then a true 9 to hold the play up. Flick to the next one, Mike. So when we kind of get in possession, the fullbacks biz forward really quickly and get as high up the pitch as they can. And then one of the holding midfielders, and it was either Boateng or it was Wiredu on Friday night's game, kind of dropped back like a bit like a quarterback after a scrummage from a from an American football game. Not that I know much about that sport, but right shaped ball, wrong rules. But they kind of drop back into the pocket and then look up and try and play basically through the thirds. So it kind of goes 3-3-3-1 in possession, which I found really interesting. And then you kind of want to get into, in this instance, it'd be Caleb Roberts, but the other central midfielder wide to a wing back, and then having some kind of interplay, and then a wing back bombing on beyond the wide 10, and then getting across in the box. That's the way it seemed to want to play. And I don't say they did it very, very well. But that was something I'd not seen in any of the stuff I'd done before with the Tom Cleverley stuff at Watford too much. So it may well be there, and I've just missed it. In which case, it is bad. Well, my bad to me. But I really like the fact that Wiredu was so comfortable on the ball. Really comfortable on the ball, and he was kind of getting his head up and just playing people in, and they were toying around with the high press. So if that is the case with Benarous and Amici and Patterson and Mumba and all these guys up front and moving forward, that for me should open up some gaps in League One and give us a good chance to set a really quick sort of transition. So yeah, I was quietly impressed with that, but that was the only real sort of definitive tactic that I saw that sort of knocked me out, really.
Yeah, it's interesting as well that we're playing with a back three there, and we've signed one defender, so it enforces that idea again that we do need another defender, don't we? Like, we need depth in defence, because maybe not as fullbacks, because obviously I think our defenders are actually quite versatile. So like Such can play right back or left back, Peggy can play either side. McKenzie can drift in centre back, but we probably do need at least two more centre backs, really, if we're going to play a back three. Just for
Herb, it's not really a back three; it's only in possession where the fullbacks bomb on, and if you think so, it's Boateng in this instance for those watching, not listening, who drops back into that pocket to try and look up and draw people out to pass through the third. So it's not as if we're playing a back three in possession. Flick the previous slide, Mike.
Yeah,
we seem to play a really flat back four with those two, Ibrahim and Boateng in this instance. It'll be Ibrahim and Wiredu, I'm pretty sure, if we start the season. They protect that back four, and a bit like in the way that Butcher and the Civ.
Oh,
Houghton used to. So if you remember League One days,
you call them the Civ, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm tired. But Butcher and Houghton used to sort of play that double pivot, and which meant that Randall and others could get forward more, and they were the ones that broke up play. So
yeah,
that it don't get hung up on that in terms of we're in a back three. He has played 3-5-2, I think, or 3-5-2 in the past, but it looks like he's hell bent on a back four. But those two pivot midfielders are there to break up play when we're in play. And we got the ball. The fullback seems to bomb on high up the pitch to interplay with the two wide 10s, and then one of those holding midfielders sort of drops back into the middle to basically win the ball and try and play through the thirds, which I thought was really interesting.
So where Boateng is there is where
Wiredu
it would have been. So dropping back and playing that.
Correct.
Ball and
What I'll try and do for socials this week is I'll try and clip up some of that game, give it to Mike so he can add his magique, and then we'll flick some stuff out on socials, because it was just like, what are you doing all the way back there? We've got two centre halves.
Yeah,
he clearly came in to have his foot on the ball, and a bit of Jan Mulby really just sort of set the play, which was quite nice.
It was good. It didn't feel like Argyle as well, did it? Like, with all these new players and a new manager, I was watching, I was thinking, this doesn't look like Argyle at all. This looks like a completely new team, like how we're playing. So yeah.
So no, look, and just Stephen Cooper's just jumping off, so we will be wrapping up now. But he said, "Thanks, guys, for tonight. I'm jumping in next door's fish pond. Keep it green." Yeah, thanks for that. Ian's pit. Carl just had a pitch invasion. Yes, Sophia photobombing him again on his camera. Yeah, and also Carl was ribbing you here, Gav. I mean, less of this. I mean, he was saying, who's Sarah Nola, new signing, noting the spelling mistake. But I tell you what, then he can do it next time, Gav.
Who said that? Carl?
Carl in the comments under the block 9.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd
Carl won't be joining us on the next show, not because of his shift.
Actually, I'm working next Thursday.
I'll let you. I'll send you the link to download lineup 11. But I have still got him in the side. Look at that. Right, he's going to go now.
Get him out, but
can you have that as an app to do your own team builder?
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah. So that all I do is play around the shape. If we had it online, I probably could have like moved it around a bit Sky Sportsy, but
we do need to.
We had about 6 seconds to prepare for this one, so we didn't have the time.
Yeah, we could do the FOTMob one again, couldn't we? Which we have used before on a live on a screen share. We did pick up on Mr. Magoo. Joins us from YouTube saying, "Evening chaps, how was Mackenzie's players unable to watch it yesterday? From all intents and purposes, sounded good." Gavin, do you want to just say a piece for him on that one, just to catch up on?
Yeah, as we kind of expected, he didn't get much going forward, but solid in defence. Looked pacey, overlapped Mumba a couple of times in the first half, and got some decent crosses in. He'll be everything we expected him to be. I think he'll be a very good player. So probably a 7 out of 10 yesterday, but I don't think anyone got above that, to be honest.
He got the pre-assist for the own goal as well. He threw it in for Galloway.
He did get the pre-assist for the own goal. Yeah, and Galloway got the assist. Good lad.
So Sophia photo bombing or video bombing Carl again. It's getting late and they want their bedroom back. Ninja Matt saying, just catching up on these other ones, midweek content I'm in. I think it's Wednesday, isn't it, the Truro game? So we will look, as a good point, thanks for reminding me, Matt. We will look to do probably Thursday or Friday night. Obviously, our live lounge is typically in season a Thursday night, following then the post-match game on a Sunday. We are toying with that purely because we don't want to clash with other pods and give everybody a chance to watch. We were debating going Saturday night after the game as well. So yes,
too squiffy.
Yeah, we'll play around with it, but it'll either be Thursday or Friday where we will pick up.
Can you all make a Friday?
Let us know in the comments. Actually, I'm generally pretty flexible. It's normally Carl, yourself, and Emma. I know wants to get back in as well, but her shifts equally play havoc with the schedule. Zoo Corner saying, "Yeah, brilliant. Listen, as always, guys, take it easy and stay cool and up the Argyle." Stephen did also say he's gone now, but can you do Block 9 polo shirts? And I'll get one. So I have been. I mean, I did this one, and obviously didn't know he was going to go. That's Ryan Hardy Block 9. Did you see that? Ryan Hardy Block 9 shirt. So I am looking to do some T-shirts with just the logo on. Polo shirts a great shout though, Stephen. So I may well look into that. I've got the equipment to print them on and produce, and it's good quality, very good quality, probably the best form of transfer actually that you can get now. So they are really good quality. And of course, once I get it worked out properly, I shall have it on the back of my shirt to plug it when I go to games.
We've also got some other news to share soon as well, haven't we, Mike? Yeah.
So we're going to sponsor something soon. So deals being done. Signed the paperwork. Funds have transferred. So we will.
All good.
Yeah, we will announce that. Hopefully, when do you reckon, Carl, we're likely to be able to do that?
It's 10 to 14 days, so probably late next week potentially. I'll chase it up, but yeah, soon.
Yeah, I see Mr. Magoo's pit Friday, probably a good idea. We probably won't do that in season purely because you got the Saturday so soon afterwards. But we might well do a Friday while we're still in pre-season. Also, Ian saying, Hardy mirrors, music mirrors. I don't have a Muslich one, but certain pod had a flag. But bucket hats, yes. So Nick from PAFC Displays, who has joined us a few times, those Oasis font logo driven bucket hats look great. But I've got a day job, believe it or not. So trying to pull all these little things together. But we'll aim to do that, and we'll announce it when we've got them over the coming weeks, and then get it up on the website as well for launch. Just a quick shout out. I've still got to do, so it'll be tomorrow because it's just too much pressure to try and get these things out in the week. But the Tales from the Block episode. Well, that says 6 is out tomorrow, but it's not. It's 7 that's out tomorrow. 6 is out. Go give that a listen. It's on all the podcast platforms. You can find it also as well on the block9.co.uk. But just search Tales from the Block. You'll see that image. And I do this dramatized story that follows Argyle news, but also adds a bit of fiction in the background to make it a bit of fun. So I enjoy doing them. It takes a bit of time to do it, bearing in mind, but yeah, it's good fun. And so you can have a bit of a play. And last episode 6's sort of cliffhanger was having the funds from the sale of Maxi Talavirov, and then going in and Tom and David looking at their spreadsheet of players, of targets, and pitting a priority on one of the rows. And I was sort of hoping that might be Burrow and announced yesterday, but it hasn't yet. So I'll have to think of a bit of a move on from that and the next plot twist. So go take that a listen. Let us know your thoughts, and where you can on the show, follow the platforms that you frequent on. If it's YouTube, X, or Blue Sky, if you're joining us from there, we can't stream to there at the moment, but please give us a like or subscribe, whatever it is. That all helps. I think that's about it. Any final words from yourself, Gavin?
Nope.
No, cool. Herbie?
Nope, not at all.
No, cool. Nice and simple. Carl? And he's like, yeah, 10 minutes worth.
No, I just need to get out of this room. It's so hot in here.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, it is a bit hot out there. So look, guys and girls, thank you for joining us tonight. For everybody that's passed in the comments, hopefully I've at least given you a shout out in some form. So yeah, thank you for joining us. We will, like I said, announce next week's. It'll either be Thursday or Friday. So please check out and follow the socials for that. And signing out on Matt's comment, you're all doing great, guys. Great Argyle content, and a pleasure spending the night with you all. If only the missus said the same. On that note, we shall see you next time. Take it easy and keep it green.